September 18th, the World Series of Fighting returns to NBC Sports Network. And this man right here, Luis Baboon Palomino, takes on the champion, Justin Gaethje, the lightweight champion. Baboon, the first bout was phenomenal, broke the ratings for the WSOF. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited, man. It was a great outcome. I didn't know how big the fight was until I actually, got home and started hearing all the reviews, and getting all the calls and messages and like just reading up on it. The fight ended up being bigger than any one of us, and I'm just happy to, be able to do it again.
Now, going into this fight, Baboon, there was some rumors, some news that you were injured. Is that true? Is there any certainty to that?
Going into this fight?
Yeah.
No,
The one before.
Oh, no, I was not injured going into the fight. I got injured in the fight. Yeah, that did happen, If you notice the tape, in the very first kick that we exchanged, his shin goes across my ankle, and that basically took my ankle out. It took my ability to move and check kicks, So the fight definitely went a different route, So, not to count anything out of that, that's what happens. You can catch a broken nose, you can catch a broken hand, and you still have to fight through it. The only thing is that it eventually caught up to me. I couldn't check the kicks, and that's what cost me the fight in the end.
So going into this fight, obviously you reviewed the tape, and you and Justin, and I followed your career for such a long time. You love to throw and bang just like he does, and that's what you guys are doing. So when he started off with this throwing, you followed up. But at some time that your coaches, when you went to their side, did they tell you, hey, Baboon, stick to technique, don't try to play his game? Take us back to that.
Yeah, there was a different strategy, to the fight. I couldn't follow strategy because of the injury. It cost me a lot. It took everything away from me. It took away my ability to kick myself. I used a lot of kicks myself. A lot of low kicks, a lot of high kicks, a lot of lateral movement, and I couldn't do that. So once I found out that the pain wasn't letting me follow the strategy, and I said, okay, then set my foot down and let's go, man. Let's trade. I can do this too. I'm a brawler. I started out as a brawler to begin with. So. It was nothing new to me, It's just, the leg kicks ended up catching up to me.
Will it be a little different this time around, considering that obviously it's a different ball game. It's a different Baboon.
It'll be completely different, I can tell you this much: you never know what's going to happen in the fight. You never know what kind of injury you can suffer in the beginning, middle, or end of the fight. All I know is that I'm going there with my full heart, like I did in the first fight, and I'm going there to win. I know that I can win this fight. I knew that I could have won the last fight. And I know I would win the next fight after I beat him this time.
Going into this fight, though, I remember prior that you were training a lot in your wrestling with Ricardo Lamas. You went to Chicago. Have you done the same for this fight as well?
I definitely been emphasizing a lot on the wrestling. I didn't travel this time. I kept it all at home. But a lot of training with my wrestling coach, Patrick, a lot of judo to him, Sensei Daniel Valverde. And with the whole entire team, we have been emphasizing a lot on the wrestling. So, man, I feel great. I'm well-rounded.
In that fight, did you ever think of trying to take down Justin to just throw him off?
The opportunity presented itself, and I didn't capitalize on it. Did I think about it? I think the opportunity, presented itself, but I didn't really think of going for it because I was just in that brawling mode in that moment, and I got soaked into that. It was a brawling moment, and the fight turned out to be a brawl. It wasn't a fight. It was a brawl. This time it will be a fight.
So anything different that you're doing, particularly for the training for this upcoming fight?
Yes, I definitely stepped it up on the cardio. I'm going in 2 weeks early this time to Arizona. Last time I was only there for 3 days, man. I know they say there's not much of a altitude difference, but the dry air really messed me up. Like when I got there, the type of runs I was doing over here, when I got there, I couldn't even do half. And I felt a big difference in my wind, and I felt a big difference in the breathing. So this time I'm going a lot more prepared. I'm going to be at the lab gym 2 weeks prior to the fight this time, so I can acclimate right. That's one thing that I'm doing different. Another thing, I stepped it up on my cardio. I wasn't as ready as I could have been in the last fight, and I am in this fight. And just everything else, man. Just following MMA Masters. What we do here. We work as a family, we work together, we work to improve.
Now, they just announced at the World Series of Fighting that they will be following up with a lightweight tournament, and the winner of that will face either you or Justin for the title. How do you feel about that? Have you taken a look at some of the names there?
That sounds great. I actually heard about the tournament. Have I taken a look? No. I'm completely focused on my fight. Who wins that tournament wouldn't matter to me until I win this belt. So my focus is all on Justin. I'm taking this belt home, and after that, we will see who is even in the tournament. I have no idea who's in there, and who wins it to face me. But I will be winning this fight. So whoever wins that tournament will be facing me.
Palomino, you've been in the fight game for a while now. How long do you think you're gonna keep going? You have a goal? Do you have more? Obviously, you have more goals. The one thing that obviously has been something that you've been wanting to do is fight for the UFC. But what are some of the goals for you? Is there an end? Or is Palomino gonna keep going till the end? You're gonna be like 100 years old in a wheelchair fighting.
Well, as far as fighting, I feel good. As long as my body feels good, as long as I feel like I'm healing right, I'm not slowing down. I'm not slowing down. If you watch all my fights, there is improvement in every single fight. If I was not improving, I was seeing myself no improvement. If I was seeing myself slowing down, then I would even consider of thinking, oh well, maybe I should slow down. At the moment, I only feel growth. I only feel better every time. I feel fast. I feel explosive. I feel strong. I'm getting better in my technique. I'm getting more and more well-rounded. I feel great, and I'm only 34 years old right now. How long will I keep fighting? I think I'm going to, because I'm a fighter at heart, I'll probably keep fighting as long as my body allows it. As long as I am reactive, I can move how I'm supposed to in that cage. I will keep fighting. Now, is there other things? There's many other things. There's things like films. I'm interested in films. I just stumbled into the film industry. A little while back. I started doing little stunt work with JBC Productions. I started doing little stunts here, little novelas there. With Telemundo. I did a show for Graceland just the other day, and literally stumbled into this. I was like an extra one day. Next thing you know, the very next time after that, I was doing stunts. The next time after that, I'm doing, a part in Graceland, saying, talking lines. So, stumbling to something that I actually wanted to do as a kid. So I would definitely want to look into that in the future. Right now, my whole focus is on winning this fight, and just many things that I want to do. Right now, just my focus is on winning and getting this belt, defending this belt. UFC comes calling, and they're gonna pay me what I'm worth. Then definitely, I would love to fight for UFC, being the first and biggest show in the world. I would love to, leave the MMA world, showing the world that I competed in the highest pedestals. But as of now, World Series of Fighting is showing me a lot of love. They have, they're being covered just big enough. They're, people are watching them. We have a good contract with NBC, and we're doing great. You know what I mean? I'm happy where I am. So, as long as I'm getting paid and I'm the champion and I'm winning my fights, I'm happy where I'm at.
Knowing that this fight broke the record for WSOF on NBC Sports Network, do you feel pressure knowing that we have to live up to that hype, to that past fight, or do we follow the same flow? I mean, what's mentality, not just for you, but for Justin too, because you guys have to perform better or even best than the prior fight.
See, this is the beauty of the matchups. When you put a guy like Justin and I together in the cage, you're always gonna run into this type of action. There is no way a fight between this man and that man can go dull. It's either gonna be a nasty knockout, it's gonna be a submission, or it's gonna be a war, a battle all the way to the end of the fifth round. There is no way we can't give the fans what they're expecting to see, because we are just those type of fighters. We are bonus fighters. We're not those fighters that come in and are trying to look for a decision, trying to do a takedown and just hold and wait for the time to pass by. And no, we go in there and either we're getting knocked out or we're knocking somebody out. So there's no way the fight can go wrong. I think the fans will get what they deserve.
More than likely, your fight's going to be nominated for Fight of the Year. I mean, what would that mean? And if this fight doesn't live up to that, right, it could probably even be better.
Yeah, well, now we're going to have 2 chances at Fight of the Year. So I'm seeing that we definitely take it, and apart from that, I'll be taking Knockout of the Year when I knock out Justin this time.
Last question. MMA Masters, you guys were in downtown Miami. Now you're in Doral. Obviously, it's a bigger facility. As a fighter, how does it feel to come into a place that's a lot bigger, a lot more equipment, a lot more things to do?
Man, it's great because, when I first started, there was no team. MMA Masters was just us. It was Sensei Daniel Valverde. It was Mestre Cesar Carneiro. And, it was just a lot of love, a lot of family, into it. And I started out, man, my first 10 fights, I had no sparring partners. I had no gym. I had no wrestling coach. I had no conditioning trainer, And look what we've grown into, man. We had a nice gym in downtown Miami. Now we moved to the Doral, to a gym that's 3 times as big, state-of-the-art facility. We have the original UFC cage, size cage that nobody else in Florida has, just to throw that out there. We have tremendous amount of mat space, bags, conditioning area, weight area. I mean, we have everything that you possibly need in a gym, And coming from nothing, I came from nothing, I didn't even have sparring partners for my first 10 pro fights, man.
I remember you guys used to train on top of like some roof in the
We
building.
were training in the roof, man. I would go and train with Sensei Daniel, jiu-jitsu. Then I go train with Master and do some mid work. And it was like, and we didn't do no amateur. I didn't do no amateur fights. We went straight to pros, and we did great. And now look, man, look at that man, Master family. We have guys in the UFC like Ricardo Lamas, Justin, man. We have, a whole lot of underrated fighters that haven't met the chance to be known yet, that you guys will be hearing about soon. So, I'm just excited, man. I'm happy and I'm thankful for, everything that we've come across.
So, Palomino, anyone else you want to give thanks to or any final words?
Yeah, you can't do this. You can't get this far without sponsors, man. So I want to thank, just to not leave nobody out. Live Free CrossFit, MMA Masters, Grit, Mouth Guard, Massages in Space, Vaporfy, 1-800-INJURED, Bentacore Nutrition, Nova Kitchen and Bar, Sand Nutrition, my brother E-Class for the card I've been using, and my big bro, Mr. Hyman, man. Thank you guys very much for the help. And let's get this belt September 18th.